Adelaide strikers didn't really get away in their power play, only the 1 from 11 off their 4 overs. Circumspect start, so there are different ways to do it.
Buckingham to close out the first over, down leg side, through to the keeper, wide ball. It's a game of tight margins here, T20 cricket. Miss by a fraction and you get stung for a wide. I tell you what, how good is it to see 400 plus people through the gates at DXC Arena, not even the NT side playing. You've got the Adelaide Strikers and Bangladesh and the crowd's down, turned out. How good is this?
We mentioned in the first innings that the Darwin community's been deprived of quality cricket, elite cricket for a while, but they love their cricket. They're out in droves today. It's fantastic to see such strong support for the game.
Good for Darwin and it's good for cricket. There's Buckingham to close out the first over. Back of the length ball. Alarm punches a semi-pull shot out through the leg side to the deep square leg fielder for a comfortable single at the end of the first over. The Jordan Buckingham over. The Adelaide Strikers have Bangladesh none for 3 as we see NT strike captain Jacob Dickman on screen there. No doubt enjoying some cricket, but I'm sure he'd rather be out in the middle.
Yes, would have liked to have led the NT strike to another final, but what a campaign Jacob Dixon's having for the Darwin Cricket Club. 94 again yesterday. He's having a season to remember in the Darwin and District competition.
Yeah, that he is. He's one of the better batters going around in the competition. Tough to bowl to and no doubt disappointing not to see him in action out here tonight, but there he is having a great time. Family, friends and teammates. And the Bangladesh crowd there on screen. We're hoping for some early boundaries here as we see Captain Liam Scott on to bowl. Steams in. Back of length ball. Punched through the vacant third man region. A diving Noah McFadgen at gully. Lloyd Pope at gully, rather. 4 runs. Well played there. Nicely controlled. Soft hands into the ground.
Yep, the gap's on offer. Alarm was able to just access the ball. Runs away to third man. He'll be happy to get his first boundary away. Saw the strikers an even contribution in their innings. Bangladesh as well have had solid contributors from many.
Again, great bounce and carry there from Scott. Might have even just seamed away a little off the deck.
Really lifted, doesn't it? That's pleasing for Scott. Tall, fast bowler coming in, hitting a length, and that one's really risen through the top of off.
That's unplayable, that. You have a look at that again there on replay. Just seaming away past the outside edge. That's a good piece of bowling there from Scott. He's got a big future.
Yep, slips in play. Scott, we saw him do it with the bat. Quick 5:30. Now he's opened the bowling.
Into Alarm again. Another back of a length ball. It's up in the air. This field is coming for everywhere. Lloyd Pope doesn't get there. Falls into a gap for a single. You feel the Bangladesh batters may have been ball watching a fraction there.
Yeah, wasn't able to get back to the 2. We saw late in the innings, the strikers, the ability to come back, trust your partner's call, really build your innings on the back of 2s with some low risk.
I like the captaincy here from Scott, keeping a slip in. They need a strike early. They know that. They know the power that Bangladesh have in their batting lineup. Scott recognises the opportunity as he comes into bowl to Tamim. Again, back of the length. There's an opportunity. Diving first slip. Can't get there. And it's through slip and the short third fielder for another boundary. I tell you what, it's a tough sport to be a pace bowler.
Yeah, Liam Scott, the captain, he's got the ball really rearing off a length. What do you think? Will he bring the deep cover fielder up and drop a third? That's a second boundary that's gone down there. So thus far this over, when wouldn't say that battle was in complete control.
Yeah, it wasn't in complete control that time, and we touched on it late in the Adelaide Strikers innings, but pace on the ball, you just feel that third man region comes into play as Scott in again, back of the length, and Tamim just tucks it into the leg side for a comfortable single. I tell you what, Scott's going to be some player.
He's doing it with bat and ball, isn't he? We saw his ball striking ability, memorable 6 over mid-off, was also able to access the leg side. Now he's coming on to bowl, looking really impressive.
Yeah, he touched on his batting and his bowling, but not only that, you look at his leadership skills. He's a young bloke leading around, you know, a good group of fellas here, a young group of fellas with a mix of experience as well. Obviously, the South Australian setup rate his leadership skills quite highly as well. As he comes in for the last ball of his over. Another outside edge, this time fielder a bit finer there Lloyd Pope. Just an interesting position, though. You really feel he's not taking a catch. Sort of, what's he doing there?
Yep, sometimes in the power play with only 2 fielders allowed out, you're just trying to find a way, aren't you? Obviously, maybe they've identified that Bangladesh players are strong through cover point, looking to throw their hands at anything wide, so they decided to bring the third man up. Cost them 2 boundaries in that over, just a dot to finish there. So,
see a beautiful afternoon as the sun begins to set here at the beautiful DXC Arena. Bit of tension in the crowd. They're not sure which way this one is going to go. Just see the drone flying up above, no doubt capturing some amazing content from around the grounds this week. As change of bowler Tim Oakley into the attack. Gets nudged out into the deep. Wild throw comes in from the deep fielder, and keeper just reminding the fielder that there's a bit of sun in his eyes there.
And Jack, you'd have to think that the overs of Lloyd Pope are going to be crucial in this innings, taking many wickets in the Big Bash. Is there a better wrongin in Australian domestic cricket?
Yeah, his overs are going to be crucial. 24 balls that could make or break the game, really, you feel, as Oakley approaches again to Tamim, back of a length. Tamim nudges down into the ground, safely to the deep point fielder for another single. Bangladesh seem happy enough just nudging 1s and 2s for now.
Well, importantly, the loss of no wickets, isn't it? Being able to just build that platform, be able to accelerate through your innings. They'll be happy with this start, Bangladesh.
Yeah, they will be happy with this start. What a fantastic couple of months it's been for them. Some red ball cricket, some white ball cricket, and I believe they're on a flight home tomorrow, back home to Bangladesh. And just amazing to have 2 international sides represented in Pakistan and Bangladesh as Oakley approaches again to Alam this time. And Alam uses the pace down through the vacant third man region, but deep point does well. Comes around and keeps it to 2 runs. Again, happy just milking 1s and 2s as we see plenty of onlookers here set for a grandstand finish here.
It's a huge crowd in attendance. They're full of energy, full of life. We've got a game on our hands. Strikers batting well. The first innings, 170 to get for Bangladesh, and they've started well in reply.
Started really well. We see the young girls getting around their cricket. How good is it to see how far the women and girls game has come?
Huge evolution. I think Australia really led the world, didn't they? Think back to the T20 World Cup a few years ago.
Oakley comes in again, just bunted down the ground, no run.
Showing what the female game can do on the world scene, and we're seeing the evolution and expansion of that now.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? And how good's this? Camp chair set up as the sun begins to set here in Darwin with the floodlights now turned on. Aren't we lucky to call this winter up here in the top end?
Well, I'm not sure if you've seen any better sunsets in your time, but Darwin, renowned for it this time of year, whether you're at Middle Beach or the Trailer Boat Club.
Oakley in again, back of the length, looks to keep a little bit low this time. They want 2 off the bat. Fielder comes in, picks up, it's going to be tight. They opt for 1, good decision in the end. It's been a fantastic tournament thanks to some of our major top-end series partners, Northern Territory Tourism, Airport Development Group, DXC Technology, Thrifty Car Rentals, Duke's Cricket Balls, fantastic cricket balls that we've had throughout the tournament, and Charles Darwin University.
Certainly made possible thanks to the support of our major partners.
As Oakley looks to close out his first over. Successful first over so far. Another back of a length ball, and again, Tamim happy just milking, and he's done well to find one of the large pockets we spoke about at this ground. Another 2. Some good batting here from the Bangladesh side.
Just using the pace, haven't they? They haven't had to play anything too expansive, haven't looked to go down the ground or in the air. They've just let the ball come to them, deflected it into the gaps, and they've made their way to 21 off 3 overs. Yeah, they have. It's a handy start for Bangladesh. You just feel they're setting a nice little platform for themselves. Wickets in hand here as we see a change of ends for Jordan Buckingham coming on from the McMillan's Road end. Music's blaring. The Bangladesh crowd not sure whether to cheer, sit nervously.
in a bit of limbo at the moment.
Looks to be continuing with the third man inside the ring. Deep pointers out. Fine leg is up. Deep backward square is the second fielder out. So Buckingham bowl the odd short ball with 2 out square.
Batter just slowing things down here, getting the side screen in position. I tell you what, Buckingham is fired up here. He's not happy. He's having to wait at the top of his mark here as they're still trying to get it set here. And Alarm says, thank you very much. I'm happy with that. Last over of the power play. I expect Buckingham's going to come pretty hard here. Alarm on strike. Buckingham approaches in, back of a length. Leading edge. Wasn't sure where that got to there. Alarm just bounces back down the wicket and Buckingham collects no run.
He said he's fired up. Beaten for pace there, Alarm. Buckingham trying to create that breakthrough. Bowling full, fast. Just angling into the leg stump there. Still got the slip in play.
Good start this from Buckingham. He's obviously their strike bowler with ball in hand. And Liam Scott as captain and the rest of the strikers crew will be turning to him for an early breakthrough here as he comes in again. Goes hard here. Fielder coming in. It's going to be a hard catch. Diving! Chance goes begging early. He got there. He did well to get there. Buckingham acknowledges the efforts of his teammate out on the deep point boundary. The Bangladesh crowd happy with that one.
Came in hard. Can't doubt the effort. Just a finger tipper. Spilled out. We're watching the replay. See if we can see if he did get there on the full. Always hard running in, diving. Looks like the hands did get to it. Unable to hold on.
One of those 50-50 opportunities. It might be Tom O'Connell out there. It is out on the boundary. Saw him last a nice half century earlier today as Buckingham comes in and a lot more circumspect this time from Alarm. And again, able to nudge the ball. It's almost gone for 4, that. Forward defence. It's almost gone out to the boundary rope. In fact, they're going to get back to 3 here. Great piece of running from the Bangladesh team.
They have started well. They just continue to deflect, find the ball into gaps, accumulating their score with low risk. Talked about Buckingham being a strike bowler for their Adelaide strikers, but throughout the campaign, he has been a touch expensive going at 8 and over, Jack.
Yeah, 8 and over today wins the game for them. So he'd take 8 today, but no doubt he'd like to be going at less than that. As we just saw after the 3 there, 2 batters down on their haunches there. Just obviously such a fast-moving game. T20 cricket, fitness really does play a massive role. Interesting to see here how they go about it. 3 balls remaining in the 4 over power players. Buckingham into Tamim again. Back of the length ball. Tamim happy just to watch it through off the back foot, defending into the leg side. 2 balls remaining.
I think you're right, Jack, talking about just the fatigue. It's probably an underrated aspect of the T20 format, the ability to still make good decisions when you've been running hard.
Definitely. It's something talked about a lot in the coaching world is fatigue and the impact that plays on decision-making whilst you're batting. And just noticed a little bit of fatigue starting to set in here. Only 3.5 overs down, but plenty of running thus far as we just see massive crowd still building here at DXC. As we see a Yorker this time, well played out into the deep. They want to. O'Connell does well. Clean pickup and a nice return throw back into the keeper, Harry Matthias.
Adelaide strikers, Captain Liam Scott will be wanting a wicket soon, won't he? Bangladesh don't look to be under too much pressure. They're going about their work well.
You feel the longer they bat, Carl, they bat the 20 overs, they win. You feel the strikers need to make some inroads here. They need a wicket. They need back-to-back wickets. Wickets in clumps. As Buckingham comes in for the last ball of the power play over. Pitches up this time and Alarm happy. Just nudging out to the deep point fielder. They've done really well, the Bangladesh side, to escape the 4 over power play without the loss of a wicket for 28 runs.
Welcome to the waterfront. There are a million reasons to come. Where the water meets the land, a place to connect, enjoy and relax. Resort today at waterfront.nt.gov.au.
As we just see the ads pop across the screen there. One of the many fantastic reasons to come and experience life in Darwin, the Darwin waterfront. What a beautiful spot that is.
Great spot. You can spend plenty of hours there. We know it's hot and sunny every day here through the dry season, anywhere from June, July, August. Plenty of people would have had their first taste of Darwin life through this top-end T20 series.
As Oakley comes in for his second over to Alarm, who adopts a similar tactic. A diving chance, goes begging again for the strikers. A couple of opportunities. A few shakes of the head. And Carl, we saw this in the first innings. The Adelaide strikers, they were watchful through the 4-over power play with 2 fielders back. First ball with 5 fielders back. Both teams have taken on.
Yep.
First ball.
Look to go big there. Alarm. It's almost that.
I think.
Yeah, got to catch that. No wickets down. They can sort of put the pressure right on the Adelaide strikers here.
Nicely played there.
Did again.
Down to third man. If we just have a look at that catch again, we see it's Harry Manenti there in the deep. He should be taking that, you feel.
Was able to get there. Regulation at this sort of level. 2 hands to it. Didn't have to move too far. It's another chance that goes down. We've seen a few of them today.
Seen a few chances go down, and in fairness to the players, it's been a long 9 or 10 days. For lots of them, the Bangladesh side, even longer. Some of them possibly up to 2 months away from home. So no doubt fatigue playing some sort of role in that, as we see Oakley steaming again. To Tamim. Comes in, pitches up this time, and a well-executed Yorker, as we see a bit of late swing there back into the left-hander.
Yeah, Tim Oakley, I mean, we've talked about Pope and Buckingham being the strike bowlers for Adelaide, but it's actually Tim Oakley that leads the campaign with the most amount of wickets. He's picked up 11 thus far, Lloyd Pope with 9, Buckingham with 8. So he's been able to find wickets at important times for Adelaide. Adelaide, they need him to do this again the same.
Yeah, they do. As we saw on replay there, nice in-swing from Oakley. He's going to look to pitch the ball up and let the conditions do the work for him here as he goes short this time. And Tamim nicely tucked into the leg side. Wants to, doesn't get it. Great piece of fielding there. Beautiful throw. Right over the top of the stumps. Some sharp work there in the field.
Yep, slight hesitation, but just no need for any risk or panic from Bangladesh. Is that they've got this under control at the moment. Made their way to 32.
Yeah, they have got it under control at the moment. And we spoke about the luxury of having Bangladesh coach Corey Collymore share his experience. The Adelaide strikers, Carl Hooper, up in town with them. That's pretty cool.
Amazing, isn't it? We love the West Indian connection. We think about that era of cricket, how entertaining it was, and Carl Hooper was a big part of that.
As Oakley comes in, they go up for a caught behind. It's given. Batter stands there, not happy with the decision. It's been given out. And for those watching at home, if you're given out, you cop it and walk off.
Yep, time to make his way off there. Alarm. See on the replay. Here. It was Tim Oakley just getting that little bit of shape away. We talked about him being the leading wicket taker. When the Adelaide strikers have needed, he's come through, picked up the first.
He has. I'd like to see another replay on that there. It looked to be a little gap between bat and ball possibly, but it's been given out nonetheless. And a good start, 18 off 19. Set a nice little platform for the middle order batters to come through and capitalise off.
Yeah, we talked about the Bangladesh. They're an even team with the batting lineup. No clear standouts.
This is the man I like. I've seen plenty of the Bangladesh cricket this week. I've been lucky enough to commentate a couple and just sit around the ground watching their cricket. Parvez Hussain, he goes hard.
Coming to the wicket now, so a lot rests on his shoulders. Picked up 183 runs from 7 hits. Striking at 115. Expect to see him have a little look early, but he'll look to explode pretty quickly here. He's only a short man, relies on his technique and timing. See, mark centre out in the middle of the beautiful DXC Arena. What a spectacle this is. It's building towards a grandstand finish here in Darwin. For those that haven't had the opportunity to get up to the top end, couldn't speak highly enough. No, it's certainly the place to be this time of year in Australia.
See some party shirts on screen there. What an afternoon.
Yeah, we love the Darwin attire.
As Oakley in again, back of a length ball. almost chopping back onto the stumps there is Hossein.
Springing the step for the Adelaide strikers after that wicket. Oakley responding well. Hitting the top of off. Full of energy. They'll be looking to go back-to-back wickets, get 2 new batters to the crease.
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll be looking for as we see a change of bowling here in Noah McFadden. Lucky enough to know Noah quite well as we see the match summary here. Bangladesh 1 for 32, chasing 169. Alarm 18 from 19, and they'll be looking to Mim to continue his great start, 13 off 10. 15 overs still to play. Bangladesh requiring 138 runs for victory. So saying we just see Noah McFadden into the attack. Northern Suburbs first grader in Brisbane. He's taken 60 plus wickets over the last 2 seasons. Each season, 120 wickets over the last 2 years in first grade cricket.
It's a big return, isn't it? Only bowled the 13 overs thus far, so used sparingly in this top-end T20 campaign.
He comes into bowl here to Hossein. Nice line and length. And Noah spent a fair bit of time up here in Darwin. Represented Tracy Village previously and played for the Waratah Cricket Club this year. Sharing his knowledge with some of the local Darwin players, and good to see him back up here in the top end.
Yeah, no, it's great to see a number of the players that have gone on to higher honours giving back to the Darwin and District competition.
Noah in again to Tamim. Hits him on the pad. There's a half appeal with no real liking there.
Jackie, go back 5-10 years, and I guess more common for players in their off-season to go over to England or something like that, but Darwin's becoming a much more popular decision for a lot of cricketers in southern states to spend their winter.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And I just think this is why. You have a look at the calibre of player and coach that we've had up in Darwin throughout the last week as McFadden in again to Tamim. Pitches up and Tamim skips a couple of steps down the wicket. One bounce into the fence. A beautiful shot. And that might be just what he needed to get his innings moving.
Great shot, isn't it? Fluid, through the hands, through the full ball. Went sailing over cover, down to the mid-off boundary. Full of confidence to Mim. That was a shot of authority.
Yeah, fantastic shot there. As we see it again on replay here, couple of steps down the wicket, bang, easy as you like. That's a beautiful cricket shot and brings about a change in the field, seeing mid-off drop now to a long off. And you're right, just the opportunities Darwin provides for these players is something that is unrivaled, really, as McFadden comes in again to Mim. It's a nice back of a length in towards the pads, and they scamper through for a quick single. No bat on it, judged by Rob Stewart as a leg by. You just feel, Carl, the calibre of player, athlete, coach that we've had in town. Chris Rogers, Cam White, Wade Seckham, Tim Payne,
Simon Helmet.
Names
go on, don't they?
How much time you got? But it's unrivaled.
Yeah, it certainly brings the Australian cricket community together. You think of how many players have played in different states, had different access to different coaches. It's a real melting pot of Australian cricket.
We see McFadden in again. Another one in towards the body. For the same result, one leg by, tucked into the leg side. I tell you what I would have liked to see. An NT Strike, the Adelaide Strikers final. Who would Tim Payne be cheering for? Obviously, the NT Strike assistant coach this week, recently appointed Adelaide Strikers head coach.
Yeah, he would have had a finger in both camps, wouldn't he? Tim Payne, great announcement for him. Great cricket mind, leader of Australian cricket. You think of what he did in his era and time as captain. Well respected.
McFadden in again. Might have been a little slower ball. In fact, it was a slower ball there. As see him just roll his fingers. Beautiful throw, bullet throw from the boundary. Handy first over there for McFadden. Just the 6 runs coming from the bat. 8 runs to the total. Takes the score to 1 for 40 off 6 overs. Game well and truly in the balance here as the sun is well and truly setting here over a beautiful DXC arena. And if you're watching this at home, the pictures don't even truly do this beautiful place justice.
No, it's a lovely lifestyle. So much you can do outdoors. You've got Kokoda National Park, you've got Berry Springs, Litchfield National Park, all close nearby. And now we're bringing some fantastic cricket to the community here in Darwin.
No doubt you feel cricket in the top end has massive potential to continue to grow year on year. We've already seen this year, as we just touched on, the calibre of player and coach we've had in town. You just feel it's got great potential. As we see Liam Scott back into the attack from the airport end. Nicely just defended into the offside. Bangladesh still happy, just defending at this stage.
I'm impressed with Scott's first over. Was really able to find some bite and zip out of the wicket off the back of a length. Comes in for his second now. Can he claim the second wicket? Work their way into this Bangladesh middle order.
He looks an awkward customer to Scott. He's quite tall and possibly just comes on a bit quicker than you think from his height. As he comes in again here to Tamim, who's set a nice platform so far. Shorter ball this time. Bowling to his field, deep square. Has some work to do. Gets around and cleans up well. Nice throw into the wicketkeeper. We see the Bangladesh crowd there in the background. They want something to cheer about. They want boundaries. They're happy seeing ones and twos, but they want boundaries coming.
Yeah, full of voice. Anytime we see the ball hit the ropes, so they'll be ready and waiting. Tamim started well. A lovely shot over the off-field in the last over. He's made his way to 21 off 16.
See Scott in again to Tamim. Back of the length again. It's the offside. It was 2 the call off the bat initially, but just the 1 that time.
I think they've done well. There's been a few dot balls, haven't they? Been able to rotate the strike. 2 left-handers at the crease at the moment.
I was about to touch on exactly that. You have a look throughout these 6.5 overs and have a look at the amount of 1s and 2s. Something that would have liked to see the strikers do a little bit better in their first innings. As Scott comes in again. To Parvez. Slower ball this time. Well struck. Straight out to the deep fielder. Hit well, but does well out there in the deep. And something that we probably didn't see enough from Bangladesh, I thought. Change the pace.
Yep, I think that's a fair call there, Jack. We saw the back end of the innings, a lot of boundaries behind the wicket from the pace bowlers, bowling with pace on. So that ability to roll your fingers over the ball, maybe out of the back of their hands, such a crucial skill to have variety, variations in the T20 game.
Yeah, it is crucial and really well executed. Back of the hand slower ball by Scott. Let's see what he bowls for us this time. It's another back of the hand slower ball, well executed. There's confusion in the middle. Direct hit, and he's out. The throw is well off target. It's a poor throw there by Matthias. It's confusion in the middle there.
Yeah, no. Bangladesh, they have started well, 1 for 45, but that run rate is starting to just creep up a little bit, just over 9s at the moment now, Jack. So they will need to start upping the ante at some point soon.
They will need to start upping the ante, absolutely. You feel 1s and 2s are okay for now while they set that platform, as we just see Tamim just in a little bit of trouble here, possibly calling for the physio to come out onto the ground. Might have just got him in an awkward position there, Carl.
Yeah, bit of indecision, panic between the batters. May have just overstrided, or physios come out to give some attention, grab a quick drink, pause in play. Allows us just to looks to be in a bit of trouble here. Getting the fluids in, we've talked about. As we just see the sunset again, lovely scenes here. Solid start from the Bangladesh. Alarm was gone. Caught behind Matthias off the bowling of Oakley for 18 off 19. Since then, Tanzit Tamim's taken the ascendancy. He's made his way to 22 off 18.
You just see that net run rate starting to climb, 9.42. They wouldn't want to let that get too out of control.
No, if you're Liam Scott, captain of the Adelaide Strikers, you're looking to get that to double figures as soon as possible. Just trying to get that required rate up within back of the minds of the Bangladesh batters. They've got wickets in hand. Power surge will be important when they elect to take that, get the momentum in their innings going. Saw that was crucial for the Adelaide Strikers in the first innings.
Scott comes in again, last ball of his second over. It's another back of the hand slow ball. In fact, very slow that time. And Parvez wants 2 off the bat, doesn't get it. Settles for 1 out into the deep after 7 overs. Bangladesh 1 for 47. Just having a look through some of the highlights of the tournament. As we often see in T20 cricket around the world, hat-tricks are becoming more and more popular. Pat Cummins, 2 games in a row, hat-tricks.
That's right, yes.
In the top-end series, no hat-tricks.
No hat-tricks. Saw 2 in 2 balls earlier in the semi-final from, happened twice actually in the Bangladesh, once from Rahim Hussain, but no hat-tricks.
Seen 2 5-wicket hauls throughout the tournament. Best bowling figures of the tournament, Melbourne Stars, Austin and Lazark, 5 for 30. Pretty good going up.
Great return. And then the 200s coming late in the campaign.
They left it late, but we got a couple hundreds away as we see McFadden staying on at the McMillan's Road end into Parvez Hussain, who says he wasn't ready. Come again, and McFadden not impressed. We see 2 back, straight down the ground, long off, long on, deep point, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. McFadden into Hussain, slower, hits him on the pads, looks good from here, is good. Rob Stewart, judging LBW batter again, not happy, but it looked good from here.
Yeah, just looked to roll his wrist down that one. Batter played inside, looking at hitting in line. No complaints from here in the commentary box. Good decision, umpire Rob Stewart. It's a danger man's gone. LBW, 3 off 6. McFadden with a crucial breakthrough.
That's a big wicket, that. McFadden is a crafty customer, McFadden. He's got a few change-ups, and it's not the first LBW he's had in his career, that's for sure. He's known to get plenty of LBWs, plenty of bowls. He attacks the stumps and just uses the wicket to seam the ball both ways. He's a tricky customer. Yeah,
bowling stump to stump. We'll watch it again on replay there.
Looks
to maybe keep a little bit low.
That's one of the easy ones to give.
Hitting middle and off for mine. Good decision. Adelaide Strikers claim their second wicket. Score is 2 for 47. McFadden with a crucial breakthrough.
Great experience this for McFadden. He been in and around the Queensland setup back in Brisbane and been offered an opportunity to progress down in South Australia, in and around the South Australia setup, and initially wasn't in the striker squad to come up here until an injury to James Baisley in the lead up to the tournament. Sees an opportunity for the young McFadden to come up and hone his skills. See some golf going on in the background. McFadden in again. Similar ball, pitches up, in attacking the stumps again. Just ask questions in there, doesn't he, McFadden?
No, started well. It's stump to stump bowling, attacking the stumps, just getting a little bit out of the wicket at this stage. Ball starting to get a little bit older. And yeah, you talked about the opportunities for the players we mentioned in the first innings. There'll be lots of scouts across Australia watching this. Who knows who can put their name in lights, what that might lead to for their careers.
McFadden in again to the set batter into Mim. Comes, slower ball this time, well bowled. Very crafty again. Nicely bowled by McFadden. Comes from a sporty family, McFadden. Older brother had an AFL contract with the Brisbane Lions before relocating down to Adelaide himself.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the athletes on display. Rahane, highly credentialed, cricket and football.
McFadden in again. Pace on, that looks close again. Not given this time. Just asking questions in on that line and length is McFadden. You just feel a bit of pressure building here.
Looks like the Adelaide striker bowlers have just assessed the conditions. Looks like they're mixing up their pace. Plenty of low balls in the last over by Liam Scott. McFadden again just showing his change-ups and variations. Someone going across the line there, unable to make contact.
McFadden in again. Slower ball. Well bowled. He wants 2 off the bat. He's coming back and he'll get it comfortably in the end. Great piece of batting. Well done. Again, they've done that really well. We've touched on it a few times, but they've been really good at just finding those little pockets.
Yep, gets back for 2. Tamir makes his way to 24 off 21. It's another tight over for the Adelaide Strikers, though. Only the 3 off it.
It's required run rate edging to 10 and over now as McFadden to close out his second over. Comes in, pitches up again. It's another half appeal. Might have been a little bit of bat involved that time. Beautiful over from McFadden.
Yeah, looking leg side there, Tamim.
At the end of the 8th over, Bangladesh 2 for 50. See some fantastic pictures here at DXC Arena as Danger Man Lloyd Pope into the attack. We touched on it earlier that he could hold the key for the Strikers outfit. I tell you what, look at that for a picture on a Sunday night in Darwin as the red sun.
Some lovely hue, isn't it? Lovely colours coming over the ground here at DXC Arena. The lights are taking over. And it's Lloyd Pope in the spotlight here.
Into bowl for his first ball of the night. And his pace off, slow through the air there. And new batter, happy just working the singles for now, is a fifth.
Lloyd Pope burst on that scene with a memorable display in the Australian under-19s against England and sort of made a resurgence last year with the Adelaide Strikers in the Big Bash.
Yeah, that he did. And we see a nicely played cut shot just in front of point out to the deep point fielder. Yeah, you're right. And seemed to work really well with Cam Boyce last year as part of that Strikers setup. Obviously, Cam Boyce has been around for quite some time now in Queensland and South Australian setups with the Adelaide Strikers, and awesome player for Lloyd to learn from. Pope in again to a fifth. Wants to milk down the ground. Pope does well off his own bowling. Restricting to a dot ball.
Jack, we mentioned that the run rate getting up to almost 10 and over. Just looking at the strike rates of the Bangladesh players, most of them around 100, 120, so they're going to need to find some firepower soon.
Yeah, they're going to need to find another gear here. Carl, you just feel they need to start taking a couple of risks shortly as Pope in, back of a length, gets away with it, punched down the ground for one. You just feel ones aren't enough at the moment.
No, they need to find a way to put this Adelaide Strikers bowling attack under some pressure, and that's got to happen through boundaries, and they've got probably their most experienced bowler at the moment, Lloyd Pope.
Pope in again here. Goes big this time. We ask for boundaries and delivers up and onto the roof of the canteen here at DXC Arena. That is the biggest of the night.
That's what they need, isn't it? Tamim goes bang, high and long.
Look at the crowd.
Brings the Bangladesh crowd out of their feet. That'll get them vocal. That's what they need. A bit of momentum, a bit of energy into this innings, and off the bat of Tamim.
I tell you what, I forgot they were here, the Bangladesh crowd. They're back.
They're going to be quiet, but as the music kicks in, they're cheering on their supporters.
This is great. This is good. We're set for a grandstand finish here as Pope comes in to close out his first over, and a smart piece of batting there from Tamim. Recognises it's been a handy over. Happy to settle with a single, and they get the required 10 runs off the over, Carl.
What they need, 10 and over. It's going to take a boundary and then working the ball around. So positive from Tamim. He looks to be the key wicket at this stage for me, Jack.
Yeah, he does look to be the key wicket. Just beautiful picture with the golf club in the background there. If you like your golf, we just see, as I speak, the worm pop up onto screen. We just see Bangladesh falling slightly behind, but looking like it's starting to spike again.
Yep, they want to increase that scoring rate, keep in touch with the Adelaide Strikers. We saw a big boost when they took their power surge, so that's going to be crucial when they elect to take that Bangladesh.
Absolutely, and it's changed the game, the power surge, a little bit, hasn't it? Obviously, it's a pretty new concept, only a couple of years in. And
certainly adds a tactical element, doesn't it, for those back ends? You know, you can't just leave it all for the end. You take it early. Do you hold it back? Captains and coaches given something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. And even sometimes you might feel as a batting side that you're slightly behind the 8 ball, but then that 2 over power surge can really help you capitalise and build a bit of momentum moving into the back end of your innings. As we see a change of bowling, Harry Manenzi into the Strikers on and off the field. They've given up plenty of time this week to help out at local primary schools around Darwin, and in fact, not even local necessarily. Travelled out to Howard Springs Primary School, 40-minute drive. Thursday morning before a game, as we see Manenzi in again outside the off stump, and a fifth. Happy just to watch that one through to the keeper, and lucky enough again the Strikers boys have donated some time tomorrow to head out to some schools before a midnight or 6 p.m. flight rather that night.
Fantastic, isn't it? The way the community's given back. We want to see that next generation of cricketer coming through, and getting out to the schools is so important.
Manenzi in again, third ball the over, lands a well-executed Yorker. It's going to be tight. They get through easily enough for a single into the offside there. It is. It's fantastic. And I spoke about it on air the other night, but up in Darwin, it's not every day, obviously, that we have this calibre of player in town. So for the players to be so understanding and recognising of the opportunity that they have to give back to the sport up here in Darwin is just fantastic.
It's huge. Not everyone at home may know that the Big Bash through the summer, obviously well played in the Darwin wet season, so pretty difficult to get any Big Bash games up here. So to have the teams, the brands, the colours, mixing it with the school children, it means a lot, doesn't it? And no doubt there'll be plenty of kids that have picked up a bat off the back of the engagement this week.
No doubt some lifelong memories instilled within the local territory students as Menenti comes in and lands another Yorker, which is squirted out into the backward point region. They wanted 2, settle for 1. Tomorrow, Australia-wide kicks off Play Cricket Week tomorrow, and very lucky, as I touched on, to have the Adelaide Strikers, but also the Perth Scorchers heading around to some schools to assist with Play Cricket Week.
That's great. We'll be looking to get big numbers into the Junior Blasters this year, well supported by our clubs in Darwin here, and yeah, seeing those new players coming through.
Nancy in again. Full toss this time. Hit well to cover. Misfield gets through. They want 2. They'll get it comfortably in the end. Struck well, but Misfield allows the batters to get through for 2. Yeah, you touch on Junior Blast. Fantastic concept that is actually just set to get underway in Alice Springs in a couple of weeks' time, and had record numbers down in Alice Springs last season with 60 Junior Blasters. So see how we go this season and hope to even beat that number.
Fantastic. I'm sure many viewers from Alice Springs are tuning in. You can head to playcricket.com.au, register your child for the upcoming season.
As Menenti in again, misses full again, full toss, dealt with beautifully there by a 5th, out to the vacant point boundary. Poor ball, last ball of the over. We often talk about 5th and 6th balls. The over's only gone for 5. Now becomes a 9-run over, Carl.
That hurts. Just unable to close out. Menenti just full, wide, perfect ball for Derivo. Throw the hands through, found the gap, hits that away for 4. Closing out the last 2 balls, as you mentioned. Just unable to do it on that occasion, Menenti.
So we see there the 10-over mark halfway. Bangladesh 2 for 69, requiring 170 for victory. 101 runs off 10 overs. As you see there on screen, 10.1. Now the required run rate.
What's your feeling, Jack? Where do you think it sits at this point?
Runs on the board in the final, Carl. 10.1 and over. It's going to be tough. You have a look at the overs in hand there. Pope still got 3. You just feel Adelaide Strikers have their noses in front, but as we touched on, power surge makes it interesting. Just seeing there, I'm not sure I'm a fan of the win vis there. 66-34. I'd have it pretty close. So
A bit closer.
yeah, a little bit closer than that. Probably 55-45, I reckon. It's not far off.
Interesting they've elected to take Pope out of the attack. Got for 10 off his first over off the back of that big 6 from Tamim. Just wonder if that's with the left-handers at the crease. They might hold him back, try and get some right-handers out with the leg spin.
I'll tell you what it is. They've wasted no time in taking the power surge. They've taken
right.
the power surge straight away here. As I just noticed 7 fielders up inside the ring here. Brave move, but you've got the set batter in. And we've seen so often throughout this tournament, power surge can bring wickets.
Yep, sometimes you've got to be the man, don't you? So Tamim made the call to go early with the power surge. Only 2 fielders out. Can make or break the innings, these next 2 overs.
Yeah, it can. I feel sometimes batters tend to get a little bit carried away. See how we go here. Buckingham into it, but just gets the toe of the bat as it shoots knee roll high. Squirts it to short fine leg for a single.
It's a good point, Jack, isn't it? Just you can play cricket shots with only 2 fielders out, still score heavily. So interesting to see how the Bangladesh batters look to approach these next 2 overs.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how they go about their work here. You've got, obviously, the set batter taking a single first ball. Does the new batter have more of a licence, possibly?
I think so. Deep square leg is out. Deep backward square, so protection on the leg side.
Just bucking. And comes in, lands a nice Yorker, but dealt with well down the ground as it to keep it to 3. They've run well there.
3. Urgency between the wickets. That's what we want to see. Brings them in back on strike. That's that quality cricket shot that we talked about. Just punch the full ball back past mid-on. ran hard for 3.
Yeah, good piece of running there. As we see some of the young Northern Territory under-17 and under-19s players working the side screens tonight, giving up their Sunday afternoon.
But what an experience they've had, learning from the likes of Simon Helmet, Tim Payne. Great for their development.
Bucking them in again. Short this time. There's going to be a catching opportunity. Cover running backwards. Takes it. Nice. Easy catch in the end, but running backwards, never easy.
No, always difficult when you're in the ring, running back. See the sun is set, the lights are starting to take over, and that was well held and crucial wicket. They've lost their linchpin here, Bangladesh.
We touched power surge can bring wickets, and that it has. Good start to the surge for the Adelaide Strikers, and begs a question. Power surge brings wickets with fielders inside the ring. Is there a reason when you got your foot on the throat you couldn't bring an extra couple into the ring?
They have to go aerial, they have to score boundaries rather than just trying to play good cricket shots. Tamins tried to lift that one over cover. It's back of the length. That's a tough shot for anyone. All he could do was sky it to cover. It's been his downfall. Pressure on this middle order of Bangladesh now. And Jack, we talked about it. They've elected to take the power surge. So now the incoming batter probably thinks that he needs to go on with it rather than facing a few balls to assess conditions, see what the wicket's doing.
Yeah, bang on, Carlin. They're in a hard spot now, losing a wicket. First few balls of the power surge. We just see here in 8 matches, Muhammad Akbar Ali, the skipper, 120 runs, got a strike rate of 100. He's going to have to strike quicker than that tonight if there's any chance of taking home the chocolates.
Yeah, well, you look for opportunities for a captain's knock, and this is it, isn't it? His team, the crowd, the Bangladesh crowd, crying out for someone to build this total, put a bit of pressure back onto the Adelaide Strikers. So we see the
How good is this?
view from the drone just overlooking DXC Arena.
Unbelievable.
Lovely sights being streamed all over the world to our broadcast partners.
Buckingham in again. Slower ball this time. Akbar Ali wants one, doesn't get it. Buckingham does well off his own bowling there, and he's leading the attack well here as Buckingham, standing up when the team need him. We see a nervous Bangladesh crowd there.
Yes, they've been full of voice at times through this match, but at the moment subdued. Their sides on the back foot, looking to their captain, Akbar Ali.
How good's this footage? The drone up and around DXC Arena. What a picture DXC looks. Fantastic work to the hard-working curators, as we touched on earlier. It's Buckingham in again for the 5th ball of the power surge. Pitches up this time, hits him in front, looks good, is good. John Ganane puts the finger up. Akbar Ali trapped in front. That looks pretty good, Carl.
Back-to-back wickets for Jordan Buckingham. He's up and about. He loved that one, following through. Captain's gone for a duck. Disappointment for him. At this point, ruining that decision to take the early power surge. We talked about how often it can lead to wickets. It's brought 2 in this over and stalled the Bangladesh innings.
Yeah, they're in trouble here. And you just have a look at that on replay, and that's a pretty easy one.
Yes, no DRS here for the top end T20 series, but I don't think you need it for that one there, Jack.
No, that's pretty out, isn't it? That's about as out as they come. A great turnout around the grounds. There's teams here watching. We've got the NT Strike side sat down on the beanbags, front row seats after unfortunately being knocked out earlier today by a classy Bangladesh performance. But great to see players from other teams down supporting the competition here for a great night, the 2024 Grand Final of the Top End Series.
Great atmosphere, Jack. Big crowd in attendance, well supported by the...
If we can get the camera on the beanbags around the ground, but what a place that is to watch cricket. Sitting on a beanbag, feet up, watching the cricket on a Sunday arvo.
Yeah, not too many places in Australia where you'd be doing this at 7 p.m. at night. Still 25 degrees. Lovely part of the world. I'm sure there's plenty sitting at home, maybe looking at some flights for this time next year. Can we get up 2025 top end series?
Shamim Hossain starts well, hits it through the offside, chases on, out to the boundary. Ball is going to be too quick. Out to the boundary. Great start there by Hossain.
Great start. Back of a length ball. Just gave himself some room. Cut that away through point. And that's what I'm talking about, the cricket shots in the power surge there, Jack. Not a lot of risk there, just well-timed, along the ground through the gap, and he picks up 4.
Yeah, beautiful shot. 8 runs from the over, but 2 wickets. A good one for the Adelaide strikers. As who's going to bowl the second over the power surge here? It's going to be the skipper. Takes it upon himself to bowl the second over of the surge. Great turnout here tonight by all 7 local Darwin cricket clubs. See Tracy Village Cricket Club running a barbecue out the back. Southern Districts Cricket Club got a tent set up.
Just as well.
Scott in again, sticks, but that's a beautiful shot. Slower ball, back of the land. A 5th picks it up. I tell you what, we haven't seen the end of the game yet. Game on.
No, little counter-attack here from Bangladesh. Great shot there. It was a slow ball at the back of the hand and fantastic bat speed from Dhruvi to find enough power to get the ball over the cover. Fielder racing away for 4.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot out to the deep. Point boundary, and Tracy Village legend in the crowd there. Test match. He's well known around the grounds. Just got a little show on screen there as a 5th faces up to Liam Scott again. Scott, slower ball again. Played defensively into the offside for a single this time. Good batting, boundary, and then gets down the other end.
Yep, Shahim Hussain coming in a little bit later here at 6, but he's been a top scorer from the Bangladesh team through this series.